1030 police, 3007 Springfield Drive.
911, what is your emergency? Our apartment's got bullet holes through it. The bullets came through the front wall from the next apartment. Please come out! Put your hands up! Straight back, bro. I'm in this car, bro. Put your hands in the air. Get down on your knees. What did I do? What is this about? I was banging at the door and she said, who is he? And the other started shooting. We're both just regular workers. There's somebody in there dead? Yeah, my girlfriend. Please don't let her be dead. Please, God, don't let her be dead.
It's a tale of two points of view from opposite sides of the same door.
This is a story about a death that didn't need to happen.
I've always knew she would be great.
Woo-wee.
To be great.
Let me play that back. Let me play that back.
It's not.
I'm gonna play this back.
We're doing our job.
I'm gonna play this back.
3rd Division responding to a 1030 police, 3007 Springfield Drive.
911, what is your emergency? Our apartment's got bullet holes through it. The bullets came through the front wall from the next apartment. Apartment number 4! Please come out! Put your hands up! Walk straight back, girl. I'm in this car, bro. Put your hands in the air. Get down on your knees. What did I do? What is this about? I was banging at the door and she said, who is he? And the other started shooting. We're both just regular workers. There's somebody in there dead? Yeah, my girlfriend. Please, dude, don't let her be dead. Please, God, don't let her be dead.
It's a tale of two points of view from opposite sides of the same door. It's a tale of two points of view.
Okay, now this is a woman who was messing around with two men at the same time. Kenneth Walker is not a regular worker. He's a drug dealer. Okay? You can look the information up yourself. There's text messages in his phone that cops found showing him talking to waitresses at Hooters that he was going to sell pills to. He was also going to rob somebody for $25,000. Okay? This woman right here was messing around with Jamarcus Glover. All right. Who she paid $5,000 to get him out of jail. Paid his bond. All right. She is not innocent. And they're not regular workers, as Kenneth Walker wants to say. All right. I'm sorry. You a drug dealer crying? Man, look, I don't support drug dealers. But if you're in the game, just play it accordingly. Have your poker face. But you crying like a little girl. We're just regular workers. No, you're not. No, you're not. And oh, man. Let's keep going.
It's a tale of two points of view from opposite sides of the same door.
This is a story about a death that didn't need to happen.
I've always knew she would be great. I hate that she had to die to be great.
It's not a race thing, like people want to try to make it. It's not. This is a point where we're doing our job. I get shot when we turn fire.
And if Breonna's mother is watching this, is there anything that you would like to say to her?
If you look at the story, you'll figure it out for yourself that everything is wrong about this.
Wrong? How? She was messing around with two drug dealers, man. Two drug dealers. All right? If you look at the police report, they show you everything. Even Jamarcus Glover was aware that she was messing around with Kenneth Walker. Okay? The dude jumped out of the way when the bullets were flying, man, and let Breonna Taylor get hit with all those bullets. Okay? She knew this. All right? She knew he was, look. This right here, and the way the media spins this, it is disgusting. And you're trying to make her innocent. You're trying to say, oh, it was wrong. It was wrong. The fact that she was messing around with drug dealers, what if that was the problem? What if that was the reason why she got killed in the first place? Was her poor dating choices. She is not.
How much do you miss her, Tamika? More than life.
More than life, but you took $1 million. You took a settlement and got out of Dodge. You didn't fight for it because I'm just I'm just making an educated guess here that you knew your daughter was into things that she was not supposed to be in, and that's why you took the money. I'm sorry. If you're fighting and you believe your daughter is innocent or your child's innocent and the cops are guilty, you are not taking a settlement. You are fighting until your very last breath, till you're penniless, to make sure the cops go to jail. But you knew she was doing something illegal and she was messing around with men she had no business messing with, and that's why you took the money and ran.
Friday night on ABC.
This is crazy.
Haven't heard. Body camera video, exclusive interviews, deeply personal home video.
Girl, let me wipe your eyes. Everything's gonna be alright.
Breonna Taylor, say her name. The 2020 event special.
Got to be kidding
Friday
me.
at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Wow. This is something that is just insane. I mean, just
This holiday, get the
Oh.
prize America's been waiting for.
I just
Next level.
Unlimited
Wow.
plans started
just wow. The way you could spin something, all right, it's just it's modern day witchcraft. That's how I look at this. Is some serious voodoo. Some serious voodoo, man. That's how I gotta see it. All right, to actually spin this crap. I'm sorry. I mean, how do you? I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy. Spinning this something like this. Okay, it's like the Jacob Blake situation. The man was guilty of breaking into the house, you know, sexually assaulting his baby mother. Then he refuses to comply with the cops, gets shot in the back. He's paralyzed. All of a sudden, he is the victim. And he's the one breaking the law in the first place. Just saying. I'm just saying, man. I mean, how is that possible in the real world? Just want to know. How do you get away with that? Just want to know about that. That's something that's crazy. You know, I just it what could I say? It boggles my mind how they're able to spin this, and you have people just brainwashing. She's a victim. No, the money that those people that her boyfriend was selling crack to, all right, and she was handling the money. Those people whose lives were destroyed by drugs due to her boyfriend's trap house operation, those people are victims, not Breonna Taylor. Let's get that straight. Can we get that straight? Because that's the person, those are the people who really are hurting. Those are the people that, you know, that are being destroyed by drugs. How about we help them? How about we cry for them when they can't get off of drugs? How about we mourn for them? Because Breonna Taylor didn't care when she was making all that money and somebody who had a productive job got fired because her boyfriend opened them up to an addiction while she was collecting the money from that operation. One of Louisville's latest homicide victims is a man connected to the Breonna Taylor case who was shot and killed Thursday afternoon in West Louisville. Adrian Walker, 28, one of the main suspects in the narcotics investigation that led police to Taylor's door March 13th, was found dead afternoon in the 2300 block of Magazine Street. Walker has not been identified by the Jefferson County Coroner's Office, but two sources with knowledge of the case confirmed his identity to the Courier-Journal. Walker's attorney, Keith Kamenish, also confirmed Thursday that he had received information that Walker had been fatally shot. Officers with Louisville's 1st Division found Walker's body after police received a call about a shooting shortly after 12:30 p.m. in the 2300 block of Magazine Street. Police have no suspects in his death. Okay. Walker and several co-defendants were facing criminal charges connected to alleged drug activity in the Elliott Avenue area, just a couple of blocks away from Thursday's fatal shooting. Police obtained search warrants March 12th for the Elliott Avenue homes, as well as Taylor's apartment. Police believe Taylor's ex-boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover, another suspect in the narcotics investigation, was storing cash and received packages at her home. When officers broke in the door to serve the warrant at Taylor's South End apartment shortly before 1 a.m., March 13th, her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who isn't related to Adrian Walker, fired a shot that police said hit Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly in the thigh. 3 officers, including Mattingly, fired 32 shots in response, hitting Taylor 6 times and killing her. She wasn't armed. Kenneth said he didn't know police were at the door. Adrian Walker entered a not guilty plea in late July to charges of engaging in a criminal syndicate, along with drug and gun charges in connection with the narcotics investigation that included March 13th raid on Elliott Avenue. He was one of the 3 people listed on the search warrant for Taylor's home. The search warrant, which has been called into question in recent months, identified Walker as an acquaintance of Glover. Earlier, Breonna Taylor had nothing to do with the drug. Yeah, right. The ex-boyfriend is lying. D. Glover, whose brother is Jamarcus Glover, said he talked to Walker on Wednesday, that he got a text message the next day saying Walker was dead. He said Walker had talked about going back to school to get an associate's degree from Jefferson Community and Technological College. If I know my brother Jamarcus is shocked and upset and extremely devastated, D. Glover said. And I use that word on purpose, devastated. Devastated, but I mean, you guys made a living on poisoning people. Okay? With drugs. You didn't care about those people getting hooked, losing their job, their kids going hungry because their parent can't focus to keep a job. All right? You didn't care about that. You didn't care about that at all. You just care about getting that money and spending it while black families and black communities fell apart. I know people are going to think I'm cold-hearted, but I'm thinking about the community as a whole that is being poisoned for decades while these people are living high off the hog and families are being destroyed in the process. They're having their little champagne, their little parties, they're living it up, living the life, but they're getting somebody's family member high off crack or dope or whatever they have. Okay? And they think that is right. All right. They think that is cool. All right. And I don't know what to tell you. How could I feel sorry for Jamarcus Glover? How could I feel sorry for you when there's so many other families being torn apart by drugs, and you didn't think about them when they were murdered? You didn't think about them when they committed crimes to try to get drugs and probably lost their lives in the process. Or, they were, they, were sent away to prison. You didn't think about that. Did you? Did Jamarcus Glover think about the families he destroyed while doing trap house activity? Can I feel sorry for Breonna Taylor? Can I really feel sorry for that? She was dating dating people who were destroying the lives of blacks around her community. Can I feel sorry for somebody like that? Knowing what those drugs do to people, hearing people talk about their lives of if they have done drugs and overcame it and what they've lost in the process. I know somebody whose mother was on drugs, and because her mother was so high on drugs, the two men that were with her mother molested her at a young age. Now, you can see why I don't have much sympathy. It's very hard to have sympathy for people like this. You lived your whole life making a profit off of destroying others. And then when death finally comes at your doorstep, you want others to feel sorry for you. When you peddle death in your community for a long time, and death finally said, I'm going to take a visit to your neck of the woods. Come on now. I know I just want you to see where I'm going here. It's just a thing. I mean, don't you see the pattern? I see it. They want you to feel sorry for them. Never mind that they destroyed lives. Just saying. How do you want to make people feel sorry for you when they've gone to more funerals than they can count? And you're responsible for that. They probably had to identify, get a call from the police and come down to the morgue and identify the body. Or they had to cut family members off. Okay? Remember that. Some of these people don't survive their drug addiction, and they get a call from somebody that they have to identify the body. Come on now. So it's very hard for people, anybody with a sense in a brain who's escaped this type of community, drug-infested community. And you hear a drug dealer now is suffering the loss of someone they cared about when you have suffered the loss of many who have, lost their lives to death that was peddled to them by these people. You're not going to really care. Not at all. He was already still hurting from Breonna Taylor's death. We talk about it every single time on the phone. It's Breonna. Jamarcus Glover previously told the Courier-Journal she was not involved in any drug activity. It's a lie. Because Jamarcus said that he had Breonna Taylor holding his money. Police wrote in an investigation report from May they believe Glover and Walker were the sources of narcotics for the trap house at 2424 Elliott Avenue. Walker had been arrested after search warrants were executed in December at 2424 and 2426 Elliott Avenue, along with 2605 West Muhammad Ali Boulevard. Those arrests of Walker and Glover contributed to LMPD's place-based investigations squad investigating a drug cell on Elliott Avenue, detectives have said. What could you say? You know? What can you say? It's tough, but this is something that, you know, this is the life of being a drug dealer. Okay? This is the life. There's no way there's no other way to say it. If you live the life of a gangster, this is the gangster life. All right? You live this life, you're gonna have to pay your dues. That's loss of friends, betrayal, incarceration, shootouts. What else do you want? What else do you need to hear? Then when you talk about it, people get mad at you. All right. They look at you as the bad guy, but they don't think it's wrong to keep repeating the cycle. Think it's cool and just chalk it up to like the big bad policemen are the ones that are the killers here. It's the big bad policemen. It's white supremacy. Nah, man, it's not the fact that she chose to be that lifestyle. It's the white supremacy. It's the white supremacists. They did this. They planted the drugs. That's what happened here. It's always the white people. Hey, man. And you'll have, white liberals, telling you that it's okay to do this, that it's all right to blame cops for doing their jobs. Breonna Taylor update, the latest in her case. Breonna Taylor shooting case has gripped the nation for months as protesters took to the streets to fight for justice after the 26-year-old EMT, she was not an EMT student anymore. She got fired because a dead body was found in a car that was rented in her name, thanks to Jamarcus Glover driving the car. Susan was shot to death at a Louisville, Kentucky apartment where police were serving a no-knock warrant. Taylor died March 13, 2020. The case is being examined in a special episode of Honey, Say Her Name, which airs at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, November 20th, 2020. Yeah, right. Anonymous juror said prosecutors failed to explain possible homicide offenses against the officers involved in Taylor's shooting death. NPR News, a judge has dismissed criminal charges against Kentucky State Representative Etika Scott and others who were part of a group arrest incident during a protest over the Breonna Taylor case. Grand juries who served in the Breonna case chose to spoke out anonymously after a circuit judge granted them permission to speak about the secret proceedings. Officers were serving a no-knock warrant at the apartment, but said they chose not. Friend Kenneth Walker fired shots at officers, saying he believed the police were intruders in the home. Taylor was shot to death in the gunfight, and Officer Sergeant Jonathan Manley was injured by Walker. Okay. Grand jury who heard the case did not announce any charges related directly to Taylor's death. According to NPR, the three officers involved were Miles Cosgrove, Mattingly, and Brett Atkinson. Police officer who was terminated in June. Atkinson was charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment for shooting into one of the Taylor's neighboring apartments and pleaded not guilty. Grand juror, anonymous grand juror number 1 told WFPL they were not present with any additional charges and did not discuss potential homicide charges. The grand jury never did anything about those laws, the juror said in a statement. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron contradicted the statement at a press conference in September, according to the news station. What I will say is that they, the grand jury, were walked through all the homicide offenses, he said. Manley, who was injured in the shooting, said Taylor's shooting was not racially motivated. No, it wasn't. You were a cop. You were doing your job. You got shot. What do? You shoot back. Okay? That's what you do. Cause and effect. Sergeant Jonathan Manley, who was shot in the leg while serving the warrant at Taylor's apartment, made statement separating the shooting from other high-profile killings of black people in 2020 and recent years. It was not a race thing like people want to try to make it out to be. It's not. This is a point where we're doing our job. We gave too much time when we go in. I get shot. We return fire. Manley told ABC News, this is not us going hunting somebody down. This is not kneeling on a neck. It's nothing like that. He said police expected to find Taylor home alone and said they knocked multiple times and gave her time to respond. In hindsight, he said that was a mistake. What would I have done differently? The answer to that is simply now that I have been thinking about it, Manley said. Number one, we would have either served the no-knock warrant or we would have done the normal thing we do, which is 5 to 10 seconds. To not give people time to formulate a plan, not to give people time to get their senses so they can have an idea of what they're doing. Because that happened, Taylor would have been alive 100%. I agree with him. Okay. But the real reason why Breonna Taylor's dead is her dating choices. Okay. It's the same thing with Corin Gaines. I don't know if you know anything about her. Corin Gaines was dating a boyfriend who had a search warrant out for him. Sorry, he had a warrant out for his arrest, and SWAT team came to get him. Corin Gaines decides, while she has her toddler son in her arm, picks up a shotgun with the other and aim it at police. What do you think was going to happen? Okay. And what did Corin Gaines' boyfriend do? Like a coward, runs to the exit outside the apartment. That's to show what type of man he is. A very hard thing in the black community is to understand that there are times when blacks cause their deaths at the hands of police. And you especially do is when you're dating drug dealers or messing with them. And Kenneth Walker says, oh, I was her boyfriend. No, man. We were both messing around, okay, from time to time. And she told you about Jamarcus Glover. You guys messed around on and off. And even in the reports, Jamarcus Glover talks about how Breonna Taylor go back and forth between him and Kenneth Walker. Don't believe me? You can look it up on thedailymail.com. That's all I got to say. Later.